Hello everybody, and today I want to do a quick short video on what I found that a lot of you are looking for every month, which I didn't even know was still a thing because, okay, whatever. I figured people just apply online, send their resume, go to the interview and get a job. But apparently in some careers or industries, people are still looking for mentors. They're still seeking experienced professionals to help them move up in the world. And sometimes it can be a little intimidating figuring out how to do that ask, how to get that person to say, yes, I'll be your mentor and guide. And even if it's not professional, it could be spiritual mentor, spiritual guide, whatever, and whatever you want to learn, basically, that you always have to ask. You always have to ask. Ask and you shall receive. So, first, make sure, I think the most important part before all this, okay, first you have to decide if having a mentor in your industry is worth it, because like I said, there's so many jobs that you just apply and you get the job. I mean, take it from me. You know, I just send my resume everywhere, like even on Craigslist. Careful with Craigslist. But it's possible that like to land a high profile job, you need to talk to a high profile person. So it might be like, for example, PR is an industry where it's really about who you know. So you do want to know that mentor or guide that's going to help you step up your game. But in other jobs, like, oh, the sun came out. Okay, cool. In other jobs, like in marketing or, I don't know, anything computer-wise, you can get an education, even a certification, or you don't need a degree necessarily. Or even look online. Like look at all this fantastic content at our fingertips now. It's on YouTube, it's on websites like lynda.com, and this is not an advertising for them, but it's wonderful. I take advantage of the digital age and resources that you can teach yourself anything you want to do, that you don't need a mentor. But like I said, if you absolutely are certain that you want to go through with this, then first you have to be certain about who you pick and have like a list of 4 or 5 options. Don't just go for one person, because then you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Try to like break it down to like 4 or 5, I would say, because assuming that these are high profile people, they actually have a very busy schedule and they don't have time to mentor everybody, especially if, you know, maybe they don't want to do it for you because they're already doing it for a family member or something. So after you have your carefully chosen list of 4 or 5 candidates, I would say make sure that they're also a realistic list, like people you could get in contact with, or that you either know somebody that knows them, or you found their contact info online and you can have a conversation. Because you can't get, for example, I don't know, like Jennifer Lawrence. She's not going to mentor me in acting. Like, I don't know how to reach Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know how to get her attention. So it would just be really difficult. Make sure that you put realistic, attainable mentors, and preferably somebody you have, you know, some kind of common mutual friend or something like that. I would say instead of going straight to the ask, because this is just how I think, it's a lot more courteous to think about who's going to be your mentor way before you actually ask. And then for a month, or a couple of weeks, just try to support them. So like reach out to them, have a conversation. Hi, how are you? My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm studying this. It's really cool to meet you. I've always admired you. It's really cool that you did this in your job, or I liked the article that you wrote about this. Send them an email if you want, like just a supportive email. On social media, we have all of the opportunities for this support, because you can like their pictures. All you have to do is literally click a button to show support for your possible mentor. You can share their content. You can like reshare their posts, or and talk about how much you love their channel. You can comment on their pictures, posts, statuses, likes, whatever you can find. And this again is for a couple of weeks just to get them to see your name often and just to be like, oh, hey, I know that's a loyal follower or a loyal subscriber. So that the first time they meet you, it's not because you want something. That's a little different if you happen to know this person before already, or if it's like through a mutual friend, because then they already know the mutual friend, so you can kind of just go to the ask. But even then, I would try to build some kind of relationship with the mentor first and feel them out. Yeah, so after you do that, basically, you have to decide now, what do you want out of this mentorship? What are you looking for? Do you want a job in the industry? Are you looking for a resume credit? Do you want to do this for how many times a week? Like, are you going to meet with the person? Are you going to shadow 24/7 this person? Which is basically like, I guess it's called shadowing because you are their shadow. Yeah, you're like right next to them, looking, observing everything they're doing. Or do you want to just do it, like I said, once a week? And for how long? Like, make sure you have a time frame, because you don't want to go to this person and be like, hey, will you be my mentor? Yeah, I don't know, for the next 6 years or so. That's not realistic. You have to tell them, I just need this for a couple of months, or I just want to get to know the industry until I feel more comfortable in it. Who knows? Like, I think if they have a busy schedule, they will tell you, listen, I can only do it for this long, and then you'll work with that. But it's good to think about what you want first and what you want out of it, because some things are very hands-on. Like if you were doing, I don't know, if you were like, you wanted to learn how to be a nurse or some kind of medical tech, you want to be there watching everything and just like how they do every skill, every part of the job, because it's hands-on. Like you can't just take notes and like read them later. It's more like watch what you're doing and learn how to work with it. I don't know. You get what I'm saying though, right? Like basically, you have to decide, is this the kind of thing where you can do once a week or not? And what kind of internship? Do you want an intense shadowing, or like we meet once a week for coffee and you write notes? Or do you want to watch what they're doing 24/7? Now, after you decide what you want, which you can ask for, because if they say no, at least you can negotiate from there. Make sure you reach out to them. And this is where the ask comes in. This is where it's getting down to the point of how to ask someone to be your mentor. And it's very simple. Like, just ask. Just ask. That's it. Like, you don't have to do it over email. It doesn't have to be a formally written letter, or, it could be a phone call. You could reach out on social media. I mean, I've heard about this guy who like DM'd a bunch of people, and that's how he got in touch with them. People look at their all kinds of messages now. There's all kinds of ways to reach out. But you always want to start with certain things, and this is where I turn to the Yale EDU University blog, that they have this this example. Basically, you want to come off really polite and say like, hi, dear blah, blah, blah. My name is fill in the blank. I currently work here. I'm new to the field, and I have a great respect for what you have done, particular in this field. So talk about how much you admire their work and like make it real, like investigate, like research something they actually did and compliment. And then ask them, I would really like to interview you or to hear your story and ask you a few questions about your career and your position where you're at. I'm still learning. I would love to just get 30 minutes to an hour of your time for coffee or lunch, and I'll be happy. It's my treat. First of all, you're definitely paying for the coffee, so make sure you know that. And that's it. And then ask them if you can meet for coffee. If they're too far away, like Australia, ask them if you can call them or Skype, whatever's easier. And then you can finish with, please let me know a date and time that works best with your schedule. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you. Short and sweet. You don't want to go too overboard. But basically in that conversation, even if you're not saying directly, hey, I want you to be my mentor, it's opening the door and it's getting them to pay attention to you and to meet with you. I think, especially for somebody you don't know prior, you want to just have coffee the first time. You want to just get to know them. And the first in-person conversation, you can bring up the mentorship at the end, but it just might come as a surprise. But it's better than just straight to the point via email, because they're not putting a face to the name. So definitely try to start with just the coffee date and go from there. So while you are having this wonderful, wonderful meal that you're treating your possible mentor to, then you start talking about their schedule, what's your day-to-day, what does your job look like day-to-day? I would love to know, because I want to know if I really want to do this in my field, and I want to know what it's really like. So now when you talk about scheduling, then you can talk about, you have to give them an out, and Yale even says this too, like give them the option of saying no, because they are such leaders in their industry. You might even have to meet them again someday, so you don't want to come off as like that annoying person that stalked them and really like harass them for mentorship. No, you don't want them to remember you like that. Yeah, trust me. So basically you can start with, wow, your schedule is so busy, after you guys are already talking about scheduling, and say, I understand your schedule is very busy and you probably don't have time. So you're already like building them up to say no. I know that it makes no sense and it's the opposite of what you should do in sales, but this is not sales. You're asking for something for free. This is very different. So then you would say, I understand that your schedule is very busy and you probably don't have the time, but if you do, I would so appreciate it if you could be my mentor, because I have no idea how to get into this industry or how to get my foot in the door, and I'm passionate about this. I love this so much and I want to learn from you because you really inspire me. Just like that. Short and sweet. And if you see them starting to say no, completely understand. Don't push it. Don't harass them. They're like, no, I'm very busy. No, I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, I understand. That's fine. Make sure you bring up though, because you also want to offer them something, since they would be working for free, basically showing you how to do everything. So after they say yes or no, regardless, you can offer, I could even intern with you, and just like once a week or whatever time you have, basically just say, I could intern with you and do work. When you're not teaching me, I can help you, I can get you coffee, I can run errands, whatever you want. Just as long as, part of the time you're teaching me, I don't mind doing an internship and like helping you with everything. I would offer you my help for free. Now they're getting something out of the deal. Now it's not so one-sided, because even if it is like a friend or a family member, work is work. And having to teach someone for free is not fun. It's not fun. I am not a good teacher. I have no patience. But I remember I had to mentor one of my close friends at the time, a couple of years ago, in social media actually. And it was nice. It was cool hanging out with her and going little by little, but there were so many things she didn't understand at first that it was hard to just be patient and go slow for her to write her notes and like do a practice thing so she would get it right. So it was really time consuming, and time is money, guys. So if they're not getting anything in return for this, it's very difficult to get. It's very difficult to get a mentor, I believe. So at that point, my friend, she did an internship and she did work for me for free, which was great, because then I didn't have to worry about certain emails or certain busy work. She would take care of it. So I got something out of it too. And very recently, I want to say like weeks ago, I got asked to be a mentor again, but it was very casual and very like, I don't know, it just, the person wasn't serious about it. And it was a friend of a friend, so it was more of a favor. But the way she said it was more like, oh yeah, you should teach me like stuff you know. I'm gonna be in that field. Oh, cool, cool, cool. And she would reach out and I would be like, yeah, sure, whenever you want. And then there was no follow-up. And then she got busy. And on top of it, she hadn't offered me anything like, oh, hey, thank you for trying to teach me. How about I help you while you're working and then you can teach me some stuff? And she didn't say that. So it was just be like me wasting my time, basically, which is not what anyone wants to do. So I'm glad that fell through. With that said, you do want to follow up with your mentor after you ask. Obviously, don't follow up if they said no. Like, that would be also harassing because it's annoying. They already said, if they said a very solid, no, I don't have time, I'm sorry. Okay, geez, like, don't email them again, don't contact them and leave them alone. But if they said, oh, I have to think about it, I'll let you know, let me look at my agenda, let me see what I can do, then I would say wait a couple of days, maybe like a week or so, and then contact them again, whether it's email, phone call. I would say phone call is the best way. Yeah, it's the next best thing after in person. And then just say, hey, I just wanted to follow up and see if you got a chance to look at your schedule because I would really love for you to be my mentor. And again, like, I would work for you for free and I would help you any way I can on this day, this day, this day. Because you also want to set boundaries. So make sure that you're only offering to work for free if you can do it, if you have the time and you don't need the money. Because it's hard. Like, an internship is no joke. So don't just offer it if you can't come through. You have to commit. You have to commit. Once you do get a mentor, give it 110% and make sure you do what you promise. And trust me, you will learn. You will learn a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really short and sweet. I just noticed a lot of people were wondering how to ask someone to be your mentor. I didn't know that was still around. Well, actually should have known because I technically got asked twice, not in the word mentor, but you know what I mean. No, you don't, it's okay. Okay, I got asked to be like a teacher, like teach marketing things. Anyways, this is how you would ask someone to be your mentor, and I hope this works for you. Let me know in the comments below.